What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Anime Guys, your ultimate destination for everything anime. Today, we are breaking down an absolute masterpiece. We are diving into one of the most emotional, historical, and deeply moving episodes in the entire history of One Piece, episode 1163. Now, look. The original runtime of this episode is around 23 minutes. But to respect your time and give you the absolute highest concentration of hype, storytelling, and raw emotion, I have speeded up and perfectly condensed the footage into a seamless 12-minute experience. You will not miss a single frame, a single dialogue, or a single tear. We are covering every single detail from start to finish. Today, we are witnessing a historic reunion that has been 22 years in the making, the legendary, tear-jerking meeting between our beloved archaeologist Nico Robin and the giant who gave everything to save her, Jaguar D. Sol. If you are ready for this emotional roller coaster, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Anime Guys, turn on notifications, and let's get right into the breakdown. 130 to 430 Part 1, The Horrors of O'Hara's Black and White Propaganda. Shift to a serious, dramatic, and somber tone. Voiceover. The episode begins with an incredible artistic choice by the animators. The screen loses all its color, plunging us into a dark, grim, black and white flashback. This isn't just a regular flashback, it's a deep dive into the psychological trauma and pure cruelty Nico Robin faced as an 8-year-old child. We hear the haunting, malicious voice of Spandine, the former chief of CP9, echoing through a den mushy. He is delivering a worldwide broadcast, spreading vile world government propaganda. He lies to the entire world, claiming that the scholars of O'Hara were demons trying to destroy humanity. He specifically points out a little girl who escaped Nico Robin, branding her as the ultimate threat to global peace. What follows next is a sequence of scenes that will completely shatter your heart. We see little Robin wandering aimlessly through rainy streets and dark, frozen alleys. She has no family, no home, and nowhere to go. She is shivering from the cold, starving, and forced to eat garbage scraps alongside stray dogs. The world government put a staggering 79 million bounty on her head, turning the entire civilian population into ruthless bounty hunters. Everyone became a predator, and Robin was the ultimate prey. Then, the flashback takes us to a deceptive moment of peace. Robin finds work on a quiet farm. An old woman appears to be kind, giving her shelter, milk, and a warm place to sleep in exchange for chores like milking cows. For a brief second, Robin thinks she finally found safety. But in a world twisted by greed and fear, loyalty is non-existent. At night, while Robin is sleeping in the barn, the old woman secretly calls the Marines. Suddenly, soldiers burst in, the look of betrayal in Robin's eyes as the old woman points at her and calls her a demon just to secure the bounty money is devastating. Robin uses her Hana no Mi powers to distract the guards and runs for her life. She runs until she hits a dead end, a massive, towering cliff overlooking a violent, crashing ocean. Standing on the edge, crying her eyes out, she contemplates jumping to end her endless suffering. She asks the cruelest question a child could ever ask: why was I even born? Do I not have a right to live? But right before she gives up, the unforgettable echo of Sol's unique laugh, Dirishishishi, and her mother Olivia's dying words flash through her mind, begging her to survive. Robin takes a step back from the abyss. She chooses to fight, she chooses to live. 4:30 to 7 o'clock Part 2, The Arrival at Elbaf and the Ultimate Giant Prank. Transition to a vibrant, colorful, and adventurous tone. Voiceover. We snap back to the present day, and the screen bursts back into vivid, beautiful colors as we return to Elbaf, the land of the giants. The Straw Hat Pirates minus Zoro and Jinbe are trekking through a massive, breathtaking forest. They are making their way to the Warrior's Spring, the sacred place where Jaguar D. Sol has been living and protecting the saved books of O'Hara. Luffy is leading the pack, full of his signature energy, loudly declaring that he can't wait to meet and thank the giant who saved his Nakama's life all those years ago. On the other hand, Usopp and Chopper are literally shaking in their boots, completely overwhelmed by the sheer scale and terrifying history of Elbaf. Walking quietly in the middle of the group is Nico Robin. Her face is calm, but if you look closely at her eyes, you can see the deep, burning anticipation of a child waiting for a miracle. Suddenly, the peaceful atmosphere is shattered. A local giant comes running through the trees, screaming in absolute panic, "Master Sol has fallen. He is down and he can't get up." Instantly, Usopp and Chopper lose their minds, assuming the worst. The entire crew freezes, thinking that Sol might have passed away due to old age or his ancient battle wounds. But Robin doesn't panic. She maintains a beautiful, serene smile and continues walking forward with steady, confident steps toward the massive, colossal body lying motionless on the grass with his back turned to the camera. When she finally stands right in front of him, the giant suddenly rolls over, and the most iconic, earth-shaking, nostalgic laugh explodes across the island. Dirishishishishi. Dirishishishishi. Sol was completely fine. The legendary giant was just pulling a childish prank because he was incredibly nervous and shy about how to face Robin now that she has grown up into a beautiful, dignified young woman. It's a brilliant comedic relief that perfectly breaks the tension. 7 to 9 o'clock Part 3, The Miracle of Survival and Vegapunk's Truth, shift to a warm, respectful, and grand narrative tone. Voiceover: as the crew settles down around the giant, the animation gives us a close, highly detailed look at Sol's physical condition. His massive body is covered in heavy bandages and severe, deep burn scars. His left leg is completely gone, replaced by a crude wooden peg leg. Sol begins to explain the absolute miracle of his survival to Robin and the crew. He reveals that when Kyozen Admiral Aokiji used his ice time technique on him 22 years ago, it was never meant to kill him. Kyozen purposely used a non-lethal freeze to encapsulate and protect him. When the horrific fires of the Buster Call completely engulfed O'Hara, the extreme, raging heat actually thawed the ice surrounding Sol just in time. He fell into the cold ocean, and thanks to his immense giant physiology and sheer willpower, he survived. He later returned to the ashes of O'Hara, rescued the books from the lake, and brought them safely to Elbaf to preserve true history. Sol looks down at Robin with eyes full of tears. He confesses that he has secretly followed her journey through the newspapers for more than 2 decades, crying tears of absolute fury every time the world government published lies about her. He then mentions the recent worldwide broadcast of Dr. Vegapunk, which shook the foundations of the world. Sol looks at Robin and delivers a line that heals decades of emotional trauma. "Vegapunk spoke a lot about O'Hara, Robin, but you are the living, breathing legacy of O'Hara. You are not a demon." 9 to 11 o'clock Part 4, The Peak of Emotion. "Praise me because I lived." Slow down the pacing significantly. Speak with deep, raw, and emotional vocal coloring. Voiceover: and now, guys, we arrive at the absolute emotional peak of the episode, the legendary scene that has left millions of anime fans around the world weeping. Tears begin to swell in Robin's eyes. Her usually calm, steady voice completely breaks. She looks up at the giant, her voice trembling like a defenseless little child, and she opens her arms wide toward his massive hand. She says, "Sol, please, let's not talk about the dark and sad things right now. I want you to praise me. Praise me because I managed to stay alive all these years. Saul lowers his giant frame. His colossal palm moves with unbelievable gentleness, lifting Robin up and pulling her tightly against his massive chest. The giant completely breaks down, his tears falling like rain, as he cries out, "Thank you for living. Thank you for enduring that long, painful road and making it back to me." In this exact moment, the director delivers a stroke of absolute artistic genius. Adult Robin completely disappears from the screen. Instead, we see 8-year-old little Robin in her old, tattered clothes, sobbing uncontrollably in Saul's giant embrace, screaming, "I missed you so much." This visual metaphor is everything. It shows us that the traumatized little girl who wanted to jump off the cliff 22 years ago finally found her peace. She finally received the validation, the love, and the absolute proof that her existence is a beautiful victory, not a sin. 11 to 12 o'clock conclusion, the captain's smile and outro. Return to a warm, fulfilling, and satisfying tone. Voiceover, the camera slowly pans across the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates who are watching this miracle unfold. Nami is crying uncontrollably, covering her face. Usopp and Chopper are literally hugging each other, bawling their eyes out. Sanji turns his face away, trying to hide his tears behind the smoke of his cigarette, and Brook plays a soft, beautiful, comforting melody on his violin. But what about Captain Luffy? Luffy doesn't cry. He stands tall and proud, hands firmly on his hips, wearing the widest, most beautiful smile you have ever seen. Luffy didn't just give Robin a pirate crew, he gave her a family, restored her past, and fulfilled his ultimate promise to ensure she would never, ever be alone again. Episode 1163 is a historic masterpiece that rewarded 22 years of waiting with the greatest hug.